This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Most people hear the word inflows and immediately think about price. They assume inflows mean excitement, momentum, or a market about to move. That reaction is understandable. Price is the most visible part of any market. But visibility is not the same as importance. Inflows are not emotion. They are settlement decisions. They are capital choosing a system, not reacting to a chart, not responding to a headline, and not chasing short-term movement. That distinction matters because systems behave very differently than people. I'm HODLHero, and today we're going to slow this down and explain what Bitcoin inflows actually are, why they tend to arrive later than people expect, and what they quietly signal about how Bitcoin is being treated today. Let's start with what the word inflows actually means. When we talk about inflows, we're talking about net capital moving into Bitcoin through specific identifiable rails. These rails include exchange-traded funds, ETF, custodial platforms, corporate balance sheets, investment funds operating under mandates, and in some cases public or quasi-public institutions. An inflow is not a feeling. It is an accounting entry. It represents a balance sheet decision that required approval, compliance checks, custody solutions, and operational readiness. That process alone should tell you something important. Retail participation is discretionary. An individual can wake up, change their mind, and move capital instantly. Institutional participation is procedural. Before institutional capital can move, systems must be updated. Risk models must be adjusted. Custody must be solved. Compliance requirements must be met. Reporting standards must be defined. This takes time, and that time gap is why inflows are often misunderstood. People expect capital to move the moment something becomes possible. But that is not how rule-based systems work. Capital moves after uncertainty has been reduced, not eliminated, reduced. This is why inflows lag understanding. Understanding comes first, then documentation, then internal discussion, then approval, then execution. By the time inflows show up, the decision has already been made. What you are seeing is not discovery, it is confirmation. Another common mistake is confusing inflows with buying pressure. Buying pressure is a market outcome. Inflows are a structural input. Buying pressure can appear and disappear quickly. Inflows represent capital that has crossed a threshold and entered a different accounting category. That difference changes behavior. Capital that enters Bitcoin through structured rails does not behave like speculative capital. It has longer time horizons. It has reporting requirements. It has fewer emotional exit points. To understand why this matters, you have to understand incentives. Institutions do not allocate capital because something is exciting. They allocate capital because something fits within constraints. Those constraints include liquidity, custody, auditability, and duration. If an asset fails on any one of those, capital stays sidelined, not out of fear, out of discipline. This is where Bitcoin begins to stand apart from traditional reserve assets. Gold has scarcity, but it also has storage friction, transport costs, and verification challenges. Bonds offer predictability, but they rely on issuer behavior and policy stability. Fiat reserves depend entirely on governance and discipline. They work until they don't. Bitcoin behaves differently. It has a fixed supply. It settles globally. It does not require permission, and it does not depend on an issuer's future decisions. That combination removes entire categories of risk that institutions normally have to price in. This does not make Bitcoin risk-free. It makes the risks different. They are structural, not discretionary, visible, not hidden. As Bitcoin becomes legible to institutional systems, inflows become easier to justify. Not because of hype, not because of price, but because of fit. Now let's narrow the lens and talk about ETFs. An ETF is not just another way to buy Bitcoin. It is a translation layer. It takes Bitcoin and expresses it inside legacy financial systems that already exist. ETFs matter because institutions are not built to improvise. They are built to operate within rules. ETFs simplify reporting. They standardize custody. They align with audit requirements. ETF inflows are constrained by design. They follow mandates. They respect risk limits. They move deliberately. This creates a different type of holder. As ETF participation grows, the holder base of Bitcoin shifts. Not suddenly, not dramatically, incrementally. And incremental change is how systems mature. It's also important to understand what ETF inflows do not change. They do not change Bitcoin's supply. They do not alter Bitcoin's rules. They do not control the base layer. Bitcoin remains neutral, fixed, and permissionless. Beyond ETFs, there is another category of inflows that matters deeply: corporate and treasury inflows. When Bitcoin sits on a balance sheet, it is not a trade. It is a structural decision about how capital is preserved over time. Treasury decisions are about resilience, liquidity management, and long-term uncertainty. They are slow, they are deliberate, and they are hard to reverse. So when you hear the word inflows, the question is not what does this mean for price? The real question is this: what does it mean when capital stops reacting emotionally and starts committing structurally? Because systems do not change loudly. They change quietly, then all at once. This is not financial advice.